Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, in this video, I'm going to talk about where the market is likely to go, the S&P 500. And if we start to get a bit of a downturn, why this looks really scary on the downside. I'm also going to talk about one stock that if it does start to turn over, could see a dramatic floor. That's right. Start it, John. A dramatic fall because there's been no support. I'm going to talk about that one stock that when the market does start to turn, that I want to be short. And also, I want to give a big shout out to one of my private clients. His name is Mike. I've basically protected his privacy. I kept it in here, but a KSU was a stock that he traded. He did 136% today. Great trade, and that actually happened just recently. So first, I want to give a shout out to Mike. Well done, Mike. You're my private client, and he's really doing really well. And also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through in this video that KSU trade, where he got in, why he got in, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to walk you through all the details to that. So very first off, let's get straight into the markets and why I think that if we start to tip over, this could be really scary. And then I'm going to get into that number one stock as well too, and then that trade that my private client did, or we actually all did it as well too. I was on that trade as well too. So let me go and share with you right now. So on the S&P 500, if we can see that this S&P 500, you look at this here, right? Notice how this S&P 500 has just been slowly crawling up. Now, if we start to roll over, okay, if we do, I don't know if it is going to, but if we do start to roll over, bam, down, right? Notice how if the market does start this weekly chart here, okay, this is the weekly chart of the S&P 500. If the weekly chart starts to run down through here, and we start to get below these lows through here, because notice how we're high, low, right? So the market's still pushing higher. But if we do start to turn around and start to do this here, this could be a bit of a final top in the market. And as you can see, right, there is no support down here at all. And so if I bring up my trend lines, you can actually see that that this actually looks pretty scary. Now I drew a channel in here, and as you can see now, this bottom point through here, you can see this bottom trend line from 2012 all through to 2016. I picked it up, all the support through there, and then all I did was just create a parallel trend line. So let me just delete that off the screen there, and all I did was just create a parallel trend line, and I drew it up through there. And as you can see, right, look at that exact same parallel trend line. Look at all the resistance through there. Then look what happened recently, right? Broke, found support, found a lot of support through here, came back down, came right back up. Isn't that interesting? Look where it actually came down to. Came right back down to this support level, which was what? This level through here. So the market came down, found conjunction, came down to the next support level, ran right back up, and now it's finding support again, and almost pretty much support. If I go to the daily chart, you'll be able to see where it's been finding a lot of support there. Remember, this is the long-term weekly chart here, right? Long-term weekly trend line, support. So if we do start to do this, now it's probably not going to do that, right? But if we start to break below that level there, that could be pretty scary in the markets. And then if it does do that, guess where we're likely to get down to, right? Firstly, we have this megaphone pattern. Let me just delete that off the screen here. Right, first we have this big megaphone pattern that if the market does roll over, we're probably likely to come back down. But what's probably likely to happen is that the market does start to tip over here, and we start to get a bit of downward movement, and we start to break a low, because that's going to be the key, okay? We need to break a lower low. Once that happens, then we could possibly even call this a bit of a top action, and then we're probably likely to start to come back down, probably likely to come down here, bounce off support, and then maybe come back down like that. That could take 12 months to happen, you know what I mean? We just don't know. But we want to create a lower low first. Once we create a lower low, then that's going to be the indication that things are really changing. And then once that happens, okay, when that happens, that's when you say, okay, cool, we could now be getting ready for a 1 to 2, possibly even a 3-year bear market and that's where the possible top is, okay? So that's what I'm looking at through there. Now now that's what's happening. That's the reason why this looks really scary. And so that's why I'm saying that if this thing starts to roll over, then we could start to see a lot more downside. Now, scary for some. I just want to buy put options and enjoy it. So the stock that I say that could have the biggest fall is Boeing. Boeing is one stock that if I squeeze my chart up, look at this here. Look how Boeing is just really just been squeezing up, and we could be forming some sort of head and shoulder formation here on Boeing. Shoulder, head, shoulder, and oh my goodness, if we start to break below this level here, this 300 level, look at it. There is no support until 150. This whole thing is no support. So I don't expect it to go straight down, but my goodness, if we start to roll over, this is one stock that I definitely want to be short once we start to turn over. Now, again, I'm not short right now, and I'm not going to jump in right now thinking it's going to happen. I'm going to wait for the breakout first, and then I want to be short, making sure I've got a good 1 to 2 years worth of data. I'm going to buy options, put options, and I want to wait 1 to 2 years worth of data. I'm not doing it now, but I want to see a good breakout first. Once I do that and especially once the whole market starts to top out as well too, just like I said a minute ago, then that's what I'm looking at there. Look at that there. From 300 down to 150, there is absolutely no support. So once this thing starts to roll over, or if this thing starts to roll over, and especially if the market starts to roll over at the same time, oh my goodness. Because as we know, right, there's so much money. There's so much money to be made in a bear market. And you just got to know what to look for. And just like I shared with you at the start of this video, right, they're the simple things to look out for. So for example, on the S&P, right, we have a higher low, and then another higher low. What if we start to break a low? That could be the sign of the start of a downward movement, right? So if any of you guys understand technical analysis in the markets, that's the way, especially on the weekly chart, that's what we're looking at there. Now, what I want to do now is I want to bring up one of my private clients. As you can see, this is just a screenshot of the Facebook group that all my private clients get. But he just put up here, KSU, 136% today, great trade. So, Mike, man, I want to give you a big shout out, man. I'm so proud of you. At the start of the year, man, there wasn't really a lot of symmetry to you. There wasn't really a lot of consistency with you. You were very unsure and all this sort of stuff. There was you just weren't on a good path. But ever since being part of the coaching, man, you're going to be getting better and better and better and better and better. And I can tell, man, that next year is going to be a really, 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 really great year for you because you've been putting in the hard work. So I want to say fantastic that. So the KSU trade that Mike did, and I traded as well too, but I didn't get 136%. I'll share that with you. The KSU trade. Now, let me bring up this is the KSU. Let me bring up the last, say, 3 months worth of data here. And the KSU trade was basically right here. So what the KSU trade was here, right? So what we did is that we actually had, so I traded as well too, and I actually didn't know that Mike was on the same trade, but there you go, one that we're on the same trade. So, right, so we have a nice little trend in place, right? So we have a low, we have a high, we have a lower high, a lower high, low, high, a higher low, right? So we have a very nice upward trend. Then we got this very nice pullback, and then we got a nice up bar with a slight increase in volume. So we had a nice trend in place, then a nice pullback, and then a nice up bar with an increase in volume. And then way it goes, right? So for me personally, so if I take this off the screen here, right, and also look at the moving average here. If I bring up the last 3 months, right, look at the moving average here, right? So nice run up. Then a nice pullback. The moving average is trending up. After the pullback, we got a nice little bullish up bar, nice little bounce after this pullback, and then we got an increase in volume. Now, for me personally, 2 or 3 days later, I got out. I didn't get 136%. I think it was 60 or 80%, somewhere over there. So I was actually happy with that, right? 2 or 3 days later, fantastic. 60, 80%, somewhere over there. Great trade, right? For a couple of days, fantastic. He actually, one of my private clients, he actually held on for a bit longer, as you can see, and he picked up 136%. So you're probably wondering, like, why didn't I hold on? I didn't know how long. When you're getting out of trades, you never know how long it's going to go. So if you're happy holding on for a bit to see what else it's got, then sometimes that's a good thing to do, right? For me personally, I just try to be. I'm a very, very conservative trader. And so this is what we also call a short-term trade, where you're in and out of the trade for between 2 and 5 days. And so as you can see, right, I got out 2 or 3 days later for a 60 to 80% profit. Still a great profit, right, for a couple of days. Now remember, I only trade the markets an hour per day. I do all my scans. I trade the market an hour per day. And once I find the trades, I get into the trade, and then I come back, and then I look at the last hour of the stock market to see what happened the next day. And then I either stay in, get out, get in, and all that sort of stuff. So not bad for like only an hour per day, right? So my total trading hours is only roughly maybe 5 to 6 hours in total per week. The reason why is because I have technology, I have scans, I have my system in place, and I just look at the last hour of the stock market. Then I look for trades just like this here, and then I'm getting in just before the market closes, and then I'm holding it 2 to 5 days. Yes, I have my losses, so I do get some losses, but the losses are small, and then when the profits do come, you can start to pick up some really nice trades just like Mike did. Or even if you didn't get 136%, 60, 80%, beautiful trade. If you can do that on a very high continuous basis where your profits are 60, 80%, maybe 100%, and your average loss is maybe 20, 30%, and just say for example, you're only 70% right or 80% right. You see what I'm saying there, right? That's exactly what trading is all about. And so that's what type of trade that this was here for that there. So Mike, I want to shout out to you for that. Now, if you would like to become a private client of mine, then what I'm doing is I'm actually running a bit of a special here to really help you out and to really help you move forward. So I'm running a 75% off sale to my private weekly coaching special for the first 2 people only. So the private coaching starts straight away and ends at the end of 2020. And that means you get over 12 months of private weekly coaching. If you go to johnscoachingsale.com or the very first link in the description, click on that. Go to johnscoachingsale.com. On that page, you'll be able to see all the details about what the coaching program is all about. Again, it's only for the first 2 people. So go to that johnscoachingsale.com. 75%, it's only for the very first 2 people only. And when you do on that page at johnscoachingsale.com, you'll be able to see all the details about my coaching program and to be able to get 75% off. But again, I'm only doing this bit of a special to really help people out here because I've been getting a lot of emails saying that they want my coaching, but they can't really afford the normal price. So I'm just doing this here just to give back and just to help people out and and to help and continue taking you under my wing. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Go to johnscoachingsale.com. Very first 2 people. I hope you enjoyed this out. But in any event, guys, I hope you enjoyed as you can see, right, the stock market. Oh, if we start to turn, it could look scary. That Boeing stock, man, I want to be short that thing. And I hope you can see from this trade here that there's amazing trades. Forget the stock markets, forget the S&P, forget the Dow Jones, right? There's amazing stocks just like this here. I've had 4 or 5 other trades just like this one here that have produced a fantastic profits over the last few weeks that I share with my private clients. There's amazing trades all around. All you have to do is know what to look for and then have technology to be able to scan them for you. And when you start to overload those with options, you can start to do really, really, really well. No, you're not going to make a profit on every single trade, but as long as you protect yourself, you can have small losses and big wins and have a very good success rate as well too. And then just continue focus on the system and you can do so well. Just like my private client, Mike, he's kicking ass right now. So anyway, guys, first 2 people only. Go to johnscoachingsale.com or click on the very first link in the description and I'll see you soon.